the only board member up here who is dutifully sworn in to act as a member of the board. It's my duty to call this meeting to order under Revised Code Section 121.22. The first thing we will do is stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I would now like to call Judge Wagner up to swear in my colleagues, starting with Alex Triantafilou.
All right, raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Alex Triantafilou,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the state of Ohio,
and the state of Ohio,
and that I will enforce the election laws,
and that I will enforce the election laws,
protect and preserve the records
protect and preserve the records
and property pertaining to elections,
and property pertaining to elections,
and perform my duties as a member of the Board of Elections
and perform my duties as a member of the Board of Elections
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
This I shall do as I shall answer unto God.
This I shall do as I shall answer unto God.
All right, thank you.
And now Judge Wagner will swear in Joe Mallory.
All right, raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Joe Mallory,
Do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
I will support the Constitution of the United States,
and of the state of Ohio,
the state of Ohio,
and that I will enforce the election laws,
I will enforce the election laws,
protect and preserve the records
protect and preserve the records,
and property pertaining to elections,
property pertaining to elections,
and perform my duties
or my duties
as a member of the Board of Elections
as a member of the Board of Elections,
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
This I shall do as I shall answer unto God.
I shall do as I am.
All right, thank you.
And now the administering the oath for Alex Linzer.
All right, raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Alex Linzer,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and of the state of Ohio, and that I will enforce the election laws,
laws,
protect and preserve the records
protect and preserve the records,
and property pertaining to elections,
property pertaining to elections,
and perform my duties
perform my duties
as a member of the Board of Elections to the best of my ability. This I shall do as I shall answer unto God.
I shall do as I shall answer unto God.
All right, thank you.
And now we're going to have the three newly sworn-in members sign the book. One wonders why one needs to sign the book at all.
Believe it's attesting to the fact that they have taken their oath,
All right.
which must be of record in the clerk's office.
How many such books are there in the clerk's office?
Lots.
3, 4? Going back to when? And they, besides us, who else signs them? So we have a record of this.
Yep.
Is it a matter of public record? Can one go and research these books? Do you? All right, very cool. Now we need to move to the board reorganization. And at this point, we will appoint a temporary chair, and I will move Alex Triantafilou as the temporary chair at this point. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Chair votes aye. Mr. Chairman?
Thank you. Thank you, and good morning again, everyone. I want to welcome Alex Linzer. You're moving in closer, so only going to create more confusion for everyone as I become Alex T. So again, thank you so much for everyone for coming by, especially our staff. We're on to the business now of appointing our staff leadership. Our first order of business here is to appoint a director pursuant to state law and directive. A motion must be made by a board member of the same political party as the person nominated. Is there a nomination?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Move to appoint Sherry Poland, wrong one. Okay.
Yeah, appointment of director is first. So
I very much
You're right.
appreciate that, though, Joe.
unless you're
Chair.
announcing a party switch today, Joe.
Chair, yeah.
Big
No,
news.
we're not doing it.
Did you get that on camera?
Temporary chair.
So we need a motion from a member of the same political party as the director.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we appoint Sherry Poland as the director of the Hamilton County Board of Elections.
Motion's been made.
Second.
There's a second. There's a motion on the table to appoint Sherry Poland as director of the Hamilton County Board of Elections. There's an appropriate second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? It's unanimous. Congratulations, Sherry Poland. Our next matter of business is to appoint a deputy director. And again, a motion must be made by the board member of the same political party as the person nominated. So I'll recognize Joe Mallory for a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move to appoint Raquel Burgos as the deputy director.
Second.
There's been a motion and second to appoint a deputy director. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It's unanimous. Raquel, welcome and congratulations. My final responsibility as the temporary chair this morning of the Hamilton County Board of Elections is that we appoint a chairperson of the board, and anyone can make that motion, but I'll look to Joe Mallory to make a motion.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Temporary Chairman, I move to appoint Alex Linzer as chair of the board.
I'll second that motion. In terms of discussion, I just want to again welcome Alex to this board. He's been a wonderful deputy director here for a long time. He understands the important work that we do. I know certainly, Mr. Future Chairman, we may not always agree on every issue, but I know when we disagree, it will be done with dignity, and I look forward to working with you to advance the cause of the Board of Elections. So any further discussion on the appointment of a chairman?
Mr. Chair, I would also like to welcome Alex Linzer, 2 seats to the right. I don't know if that's a political move or just a
Please.
logistical one. But welcome, Alex. I'm excited to serve with you as a board member, and I've watched you here for these many years and have great respect for you, and look forward to working with you in this role. So welcome to the board.
There's a motion and a second to appoint Alex Linzer as the new chairman of the Hamilton County Board of Elections. Hearing any further discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to read a message from Gwen McFarland, the former chair. She wanted me to say a few words.
Please.
Congratulations, Alex. I'm so proud of you in your new position and role as the chair of the Hamilton County Board of Elections. I'm sorry I'm unable to congratulate you in person, but I want you to know that my spirit is here with you today. I'm incredibly proud of this next step you're taking as a true servant leader. Your experience, hard work, integrity, and tenacity, and your wisdom is a perfect fit to ensure all elections and voting in Hamilton County will continue to be open, fair, and transparent. You are working with outstanding and amazing team of board members, staff, and volunteers to keep hope alive, not just in our county, but at the state and national level as well. Congratulations, Alex Linzer, Gwen McFarland.
Any further discussion before we take the vote?
Not to prolong things, but first of all, I want to thank my colleagues here for their confidence in nominating me to be the next chair, and thank our staff for all of your support over the years. I think, Ohio does elections right. We are Democrats and Republicans coming together. We have a lot of ideological differences, but the one thing I think we all share is a deep reverence for the work that happens in this building and building the foundations of democracy. And I look forward to continuing the standard of excellence that this staff has set. Really makes Hamilton County, I think, a national example for excellence in election administration. And I am proud to continue as part of the team in this new role.
Well done. We still have the business of taking the vote. So with that, hearing no further discussion, all in favor of appointing Alex Linzer as our new chair of this board, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. It's unanimous. Mr. Chairman, the floor is yours, good sir.
Thank you. Okay, let's just move on to our regular agenda here because we do have some work that needs to get done.
Miss-
Oh, I'm sorry. We have to administer the oath to our staff, so I'm going to ask Judge Wagner to come up one more time. And would all of the Board of Election staff please stand and raise your right hand at this point?
All right, please repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Ohio Constitution and perform all the duties of my position to the best of my ability, enforce the election laws, and preserve all records, documents, and other property pertaining to the conduct of elections placed in my custody. All right, thank you. Congratulations.
All right, back to work. So the next item on our agenda is to approve the board meeting minutes from February 11th, 2025. The meeting minutes have been circulated to the board. Are there any amendments to the minutes? Hearing none, could I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Next on our agenda is the 2024 presidential election anomaly report. Ms. Poland.
Yes, if the board may recall that at your meeting in January, you instructed staff to send certified letters to the voters we had not yet been able to reach, instructing the voter to contact the director or deputy director no later than February 5th. Those letters were mailed by certified mail. I will note that this is the second letter that had been sent to each of these voters. First letter was sent by regular mail, second letter by certified mail. So we did receive a response from 2 of the voters after sending the certified letter. Both had reasonable explanations as to the circumstances surrounding the anomaly. But that still leaves 15 voters that we have been unable to reach. And they are highlighted on the anomaly report that is in your packet. I'd like to start with 2 voters, voter number 43, which is on page 7 of your anomaly report. This voter, at the time of the November 2024 election, was registered to vote in Cuyahoga County. This voter appeared at a polling place in Hamilton County on election day to vote and was issued a provisional ballot. During that provisional verification process, staff was able to confirm through Cuyahoga County records that this voter had already cast an absentee ballot by mail in Cuyahoga, so the provisional ballot was not counted. On the next page, page 8, voter number 44 is a similar situation. During the November 2024 election, this voter was registered to vote in Butler County, Ohio. The voter appeared at a polling place in Hamilton County early in the day on election day, again was offered a provisional ballot. The voter then, later in the day, went to their assigned polling place in Butler County and cast a regular ballot. So the provisional ballot here was not counted. Again, we received documentation from the Butler County Board of Elections regarding the check-in. Just wanted to note there are 2 voters that are highlighted in green on your anomaly report. You have already referred those 2 voters to the Public Integrity Division of the Secretary of State's office as well as the Secretary of State's office. That leaves remaining 13 voters. Those voters are highlighted in yellow. The first 10 have similar situations in the fact that they cast 2 ballots in Hamilton County in the November 2024 election. Again, only 1 of those ballots were counted. They either voted by mail and then appeared in person at the polling place or appeared in person at the early vote center and at their polling place. With the exception of the last 3 voters highlighted in yellow, and they are on the last page of your packet. All 3 of these voters, the board received a empty, completed provisional envelope from the polling places on election day, completed in the names of these individual voters. With the fact that the envelope was empty, it led us to believe that the voter may have scanned and cast their ballot in the polling place. In review of the documentation provided by the poll workers, they documented that that was the case in 2 out of the 3 voters, that those voters had scanned their ballots, even though they had been issued a provisional ballot. There was no documentation regarding the third or voter indicated number 59 on the provisional or on the anomaly report. So we're presenting this, our findings to you now to see what the pleasure of the board is in moving forward.
Understood. I want to go back to voters 43 and 44, the ones that are in orange, Sherry.
Yes.
These voters both checked in a different county. We've established that, right?
Correct.
And then attempted a second vote here in Hamilton County, right?
Yeah, the Cuyahoga County was a by mail,
By mail,
in
right.
Cuyahoga. So we have received documentation from Cuyahoga County of this voter requesting and returning a voted by mail ballot.
And neither one of those 2, just to be clear, have ever responded to our inquiries, right?
No.
You know, again, to the extent that anybody in the public is ultimately tuned in, you know, when people respond to us, we almost always accept what is most of the time a reasonable explanation. It's when they don't respond that we're just left without, you know, with kind of an open-ended investigation, and that's unfortunate that these people won't respond. So those are 2, and then that leaves us with 13, right?
Correct.
And then the other one I just want to make sure I'm clear about are the empty provisional envelopes. We believe, based on our investigation, that 2 of those 3 people took what should have been a provisional ballot and cast it nonetheless.
That's correct.
Yeah. Now, what we don't know, I think, and I don't need an answer today, but I would like to know if those 2 people who forcibly voted, you know, contrary to the law, their provisional ballot is a regular ballot, if they were allowed to do so. And I would like to get that information perhaps at the next meeting, but that would be interesting for us to know whether these people who otherwise should have voted provisionally under the law forcibly cast the ballot. I do know, to be fair to them, one of them was an error by one of our members who did not properly put in a sticker that would prevent it from scanning. Is that right? Just one of those?
That's correct. According to the documentation received from the poll worker, the poll workers are trained to place a provisional label or sticker over the barcode of the ballot before they give it to the voter that prevents the ballot from being scanned in the polling place. And at least in regards to voter number 60, the poll worker did note that they did not place that sticker on that ballot.
Fair enough. Okay. So, all right. Again, no response from any of these folks to explain or to give us any kind of additional information, right?
No.
Right, okay.
The voter number 60 at one point did return a message that I had left for the voter. She just left her name and then never did return my call.
Never did, okay. All right, I don't know what the pleasure of the board is here. We've traditionally, at this stage, kind of just to close out the anomaly investigation that we're required to conduct, have typically sent the ones that we don't know about for further investigation. Again, not presuming anybody did anything criminal, but on the other hand, we can't ascertain that they didn't with just the information that we have. So in my opinion, we should refer those final 15 for further investigation to the public integrity section of the secretary as well as to the prosecutor's office.
Is that a motion?
I'll make a motion that we do both of those things, that we refer those 15 for additional investigation and to both of those entities.
Second.
Is there any discussion on the motion?
You have a question about voter number 43. We sent the notice by a letter mailed to that voter. Which address? Because one was in Cuyahoga that he voted from, I'm assuming.
Chuck, I believe it was the address that was completed on the provisional envelope here in Hamilton County, correct?
Okay, so we didn't see anything to Cuyahoga?
His address in Cuyahoga, we did not.
Okay, looks like he's like a college student. Okay.
Yeah, and I just want to stress what Mr. Triantafulu said, is that, you know, there are lots of reasons why somebody might attempt to cast two ballots, that there are lots of reasonable explanations. You know, the most common one being they put a absentee ballot in the mail and they weren't sure if it was going to make it back to the Board of Elections in time, and so they show up and cast a provisional ballot. And usually when we can talk to people, they give us that explanation, and the board has generally accepted those. But in these cases, these are individuals who we just haven't been able to reach, and so we're just referring them to the prosecutor for further investigation with this motion. Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstaining? Motion carries. Next on our agenda is certification of Cincinnati mayoral petitions. Director Poland.
Yes, there were 3 candidates who filed petitions. The list is in your packet. Staff reviewed those petitions, found them to be sufficient, and recommend certification to the ballot.
I'll move certification of the 3 candidates to the November, or actually not to the November ballot. To the
May.
To the May,
ballot. Thank you,
yes.
to the May ballot.
I second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Next, we have revision to questions and issues numbering and ballot order policy. Director Poland.
Yes, there was a recent change in state law regarding how the state will number state questions and issues. Basically, the new law states that beginning with the past November 2024 election, state questions and issues will be numbered consecutively, beginning with issue 1 from last November, and then continue consecutively through every election occurring until the state has issued 500 state-issued numbers, and then they'll start over at 1. So what that means is for this upcoming election, state issue is actually issued state issue number 2. So it's been the policy of this board to issue numbers consecutively for local questions and issues, starting after the state issue if there is a state issue, and starting at 1 if there is no state issue. So the redlined change to this policy is or should be in your packet. And basically it would allow us the flexibility to do that. So again, for example, for this election, our local issues will begin with number 3. There will be no state issue 1.
I'll move approval of the new policy as amended.
I second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Next, we have authorization of a mail house services contract.
Yes, our current contract expires at the end of this month. We issued an invitation to bid for our mail house services. This is for our larger mailings, confirmation notices, election day notices, those sorts of mailings. We only received 1 bid. That was from vendor Graphic Village. Staff has conducted our due diligence. We did a site visit. We checked references, and we also did a number of tests with using our test database from our voter registration system, and printing, and the test went well. So staff recommends that the board adopt this resolution that would award the bid to Graphic Village and then give myself and the deputy director the authority to execute a contract with the approval of the prosecutor's office.
I'll move adoption of the resolution.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Next, we have a personnel matter, administrator retirement and reemployment.
Yes, Administrator Chuck Eckert has noticed the board of his intent to retire and is seeking reemployment effective April 1st, 2025.
I'll move approval.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions?
Abstain.
Motion carries. Next, we have approval of personnel policy revision.
Yes, there are two sections of a personnel policy manual that we are presenting to the board for revision. One is section 4.3, top management and other salaried positions. You should have a red line version of that in your packet. This is to section B. We are adding the title of Chief Information Officer. Our current Chief Information Officer has had this title from quite some time. We just realized we had not updated the policy, this section of the policy, to reflect that. So it's cleaning that up, and then it's also adding our Human Resource Officer position to section B of 4.3. Along with that is a revision to section 6.0 vacation, section C doing the same thing, adding in the title of just cleaning up CIO, which had already been there just under a different title, and then adding the position of HR officer.
Seems to be routine cleanup to me. I'll move approval of the revisions of the personnel policy manual.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? That motion carries. Is there any other business to come before the board?
We'd just like to report to the board, if you recall, back in the summer, we implemented a new phone system. We fell underneath the county, basically, umbrella, which was a really good move because it provides us with more redundancies and just much more support for our phone system. At that time, we did not change our public number. We didn't think that was a good idea during a presidential year. So really, the public has been able to reach us by calling our old number as well as our new 946 extensions for the last 8 months. Beginning today, we're going to make that change. So we'll be announcing publicly of our new phone numbers with the 946 extension. Anyone that may call our old numbers will be receive a message that the number that they have dialed has been changed to, and then giving the new number. So just wanted to report that to the board. Our new main number is 513-946-8500.
Question. So does it work like normal county departments? You just dial 9 and then the last extension?
We are finally under the same extension, yes,
That's
as
good.
the rest of the county. You can dial 6 and then the extension, yeah, and reach anyone in the county. And I do want to give a shout out to Chris and John in the Technology Services Department with the county. They were just incredible, spearheading us through this whole process. So I want to thank them for that. Just wanted to give you that update.
Great.
Seeing no other business, could I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? As my predecessor used to say, none but the devil.
There you go.
All right. Thank you all very much.